The Gold Cup knockout stages are here as we continue to see what a Pochettino-led national team squad shapes up to be. How's it going, guys? It's Dave here again from A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar with Diego on board after the break, ready to cover that and more, so stick around. Well, Diego, welcome. Happy Friday to our audience.
To you as well, my guy.
A very odd day for us to be recording.
Yes.
The heat wave is over finally.
Well, yeah,
We
nobody's gonna record
were-
on Wednesday
yeah.
at 102.
Dude, it was bad. We actually tried recording yesterday as
Yep.
well, and just with the lights that we have here and all the other equipment,
It's too
my
difficult.
my laptop was screaming at us.
It's
So,
screaming bloody murder and mercy,
many
baby.
technical difficulties. In addition to some new furniture. So if you're a consistent watcher, not necessarily a listener, but a consistent watcher
Check
of
it
us,
out.
you'll
We're
see,
setting ourselves up now.
yeah, some new furniture in place. Some other new exciting things that we have in the pipeline.
Yep.
And it's all thanks to you guys that watch and listen and support us every week.
Yeah, this is for you guys.
So-
So please keep it going.
Thank you. So let's jump right into it. Some
Let's
Club
do
World
it.
Cup action. The group stage is for the most part over. I believe there are 2 games today, but for all intents and purposes on our end,
Yep.
what has been done is
It's set in,
decided, and let's hop right over. Inter Miami, with a good shot to make it out of the group, facing Palmeiras, up 2-0 in the 65th minute, thanks to Allende and Suarez goals.
Yeah.
And 2 goals in 8 minutes from Palmeiras brought things back level, 2-2 draw. But Inter Miami does advance.
It does.
So,
They get to. I mean, it would have been very weird if that team that got forced into doesn't even make it out of the groups. But nonetheless, nor here nor there. That shows, personally, all those results in this group phase, in my personal opinion, it proves my point about Brazil and Brazilian soccer.
yes,
and
you were
Brazilian
saying
teams.
this yesterday. Yeah.
I keep talking about this ad nauseum, but it is what it is. You've seen the results. Once the group of 16 comes in, it's going to be a little different. We'll see what results they get in single elimination. But when it comes to playing against everybody on a semi-even playing field, Brazil is Brazil, and Brazil is always going to put out a good match, put out a good product when it comes
Yeah, so
to
let's
playing.
run. I believe there are 4 Brazilian teams
Yep.
in the Club World Cup. Palmeiras won their group.
Botafogo.
Botafogo finished second in a group that included PSG and
And-
Atletico Madrid.
Eliminated
Eliminated Atleti.
Atletico. So, yeah.
Flamengo won their group.
Yep.
River Plate is Argentinian. They finished third in their group.
Yeah.
And
That's
Fluminense second in their group that
So-
included Borussia Dortmund.
Exactly.
So-
So think about it. That's just the reality. All their teams, pretty much, they went through the group phases. So the level of play, and they face
With-
good teams, European teams.
And with those 4 teams, only 1 loss.
Yeah.
It was Botafogo.
So again, that's my thing with Brazil. Brazil should do what Argentina does: stick to their bases, stick to the soccer they play, believe in their brand of soccer, and that's a big issue that I've always had. And this cup is proving it. I mean, it's not just that; it's just proving that South American teams or American teams are not as small and minuscule as the world stage makes it look like.
Oh yeah, no, you're nailed it on that. So let's while we're talking of
Yeah.
the big stage and big teams, one of the other highlights of the week
Yeah.
was Benfica and Bayern. Benfica did take that victory 1-0,
Yeah.
despite a pretty hefty domination from Bayern Munich.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But again, it's just showing the overall this tournament not without its frauds. Obviously, it's a big money grab.
Absolutely.
But overall, a pretty good tournament thus far. We have the knockout stages now, so I think that'll bring more excitement.
No, absolutely.
Generally speaking, the American fan base does not know about how this group stage stuff works.
Exactly.
So
They
now
don't
that we're in a
understand the
traditional,
concepts.
bracket, which a lot of American fans, now that there's the bracket,
Yeah.
it's easier for betting and that kind of stuff. So it'll bring,
Absolutely. That's one thing what I was
it'll
gonna
bring
say.
more eyes onto it. So starting with, these games actually start tomorrow, but we have Palmeiras, Botafogo in one of the round of 16, Benfica, Chelsea, Inter Fluminense, Man City, Al Hilal, PSG against Inter Miami, so
Yeah.
a messy reunion of sorts. Flamengo, Bayern Munich, Madrid, Juventus, and Dortmund facing Monterrey,
Oof,
the
the
lone
only
Liga
one.
MX team. And I totally forgot. Some of the squads, some of the players that these guys have. Monterrey.
They have good players. They have a good squad.
Yes. Let me see if I can bring it up. Geez, give me.
No, yeah, and I mean the thing with the Mexican league is that it's a huge, huge, huge market. Yes, but it's a huge market that is localized in the United States and Central America. Hasn't really transcended to the world stage, so that's why we don't even know what kind of
Right, right.
teams or what kind of players end up in Mexico player. But you can't forget there has been French nationals that have played in the French national team for
Yeah.
years.
I saw him play.
The guy that plays in Tigres,
Gignac.
Gignac, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him play in a League's Cup match against NYCFC last
So,
year,
so exactly like,
and he's their most popular player.
oh,
and
he's
he
a
has been
god
for
in
years. Yeah.
Mexico, but he was good enough to play in France for the French national team. And just like that, there are so many other players that play in that league and all the other leagues as
Actually, yeah,
well.
3 Colombians on the squad
Oh yeah,
at Monterrey.
oh yeah.
Lucas
That's how I know.
Campos. Yeah, I mean, you have some, and obviously, we talk about MLS being a retirement league. Yeah, Sergio Ramos
It's in
is
Mexico.
is the captain of
Yep.
Monterrey.
Yep. And
So,
who knows that? Very, very little
Right.
people. Not even some of the Mexican fans know that
right,
players
and
of that
I was
caliber
just
go
listening
there.
to. I'm trying to think of which podcast because I do want to give them credit. I think it was the Cooligans. We're talking about exactly that, where um, Americans, and when I say Americans, I mean North and South
Yep,
America,
yep.
are kind of forced to watch much more soccer, and by more
Yeah.
I mean different leagues. Whereas the average English person,
Just
is
watches the
watching the
English
Premier
league.
League, and
That's
that's it. The average German person is watching
Bundesliga.
Bundesliga, and
Yep.
that's it. So by product of being a selling league or a launching pad to the soccer
Yeah.
stratosphere, we are forced to be watching multiple leagues, whether it's our home country and then the
The
big
other
leagues
ones around.
in Europe or some interchange of that.
Yes.
But most even most Spanish people, you would
Yeah.
think, are not aware that Ramos is playing in
Absolutely.
Liga MX. He's still playing. He's the captain of
And it's
Monterrey.
and like you said, it's because we are forced. That's actually the perfect word. We're forced to watch these European leagues and give actually more importance to that our own physical team, like the team that we grew up following and of the country that we grew up at. You know what I mean? That's kind of like one of my things with Nacional. Like I follow Nacional, and that would be the only team I would cheer for. But then I have to watch all these other leagues just to follow my Colombian compatriots.
Yep.
I gotta watch English Premier to watch, the players in England. I gotta watch Italy. I gotta watch Spain. I gotta follow all these other leagues just because the product of my own league is not good enough or advertised enough or developed enough to engage me
Yeah,
that way.
and again, from an American standpoint, obviously that feeling is there that
Mhm.
the MLS is not a good enough league, and we want to watch the best. I see that, but I also see from an American standpoint, college football is king
Yeah.
in so many places.
Yeah.
It's not a better product than
Oh
the,
no,
than the
absolutely
NFL,
not.
but it holds its place. We are extremely local here to the
Yeah.
Hudson Valley Renegades, a minor league
Absolutely.
baseball team.
Yeah.
The product is not great,
Oh no.
but
It's
I shouldn't say that. The talent on the field is not the best that you can see.
exactly.
It's a good product. You get what you pay for. You get better access. Closer
Yeah.
seats. More
Entertainment.
affordable,
The whole thing is
so,
good.
And really, that's what the leagues are.
Yeah.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, 100%.
You know.
It's a thing you have to sell, and especially in America, it's a matter of tradition.
Yeah.
The reason why college is college, college football is because
Well, it
you know
predates the NFL.
it predates
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
NFL exactly. So I think that is the development for the MLS. It might not be within the next couple of decades, but all these kids that are growing up, those are the ones that are going to create allegiances and are going to start
So
supporting their individual localities.
little quasi humble brag. I was at an event on Tuesday with
Yeah.
NYCFC, actually hosted by Christian Polanco of the Cooligans.
Oh, nice. Nice.
It was him emceeing for David Lee, the general manager, um, Aiden O'Neill,
Oh,
their
wow.
newest signing, and
Yeah, yeah.
Thiago Martins, their Brazilian center back and captain. And one of the questions directed to David Lee was kind of around the World Cup, and he's very frankly said, I think this is the chance for MLS
To shine and
to get to
rise.
that
To
stratosphere.
rise.
You
Absolutely.
have the World Cup here next year.
You have to
You
build.
have all this momentum. You have Messi mania. You have the Apple TV deal. You have the deal with Adidas. You have all this momentum.
Yep.
If MLS does not
Capitalize.
on that,
Yep.
to take nomenclature from another sport, they are really going to fumble what
Oh,
they
big
could
time.
have done.
Big time.
To put the MLS, frankly, to put it alongside, Serie A, La Liga,
That
Bundesliga.
would be a possibility.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you have the marketing arm. Marketing in America is like no other.
Yes. 100%.
I don't care how much more money the Premier League makes right now with the TV deals and this and that. I get it, but nobody markets,
Like
nobody
American
advertises
markets.
like the U.S. So,
Yes, absolutely true. And you know what? That's another thing. Eh, I mean, that is the reason why they do the World Cup here and why they do all these tournaments pre-World Cup to create hype,
yeah,
to develop, expectations. But one thing that has been seen in America, yes, stadiums haven't been packed, but the individual teams have drawn huge crowds.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Al Halil. Al Halil has drawn 40, 50,000 people, you know, all from
Al Ali as well brought a ton of whether they're U.S. Born or U.S.
exactly.
citizens or they are traveling here for the tournament. A lot
But
of
they brought a
Egyptians have
lot.
come to watch and yeah,
Exactly. And that's when we realized that there is a market. So, like you said, MLS needs to see and take notes of these
yeah,
things and start targeting properly. You know what I mean? Like, if we can get all these people that came out again, maybe if you start, signing people from, Saudi Arabia,
yeah.
then start bringing people from those leagues, the Egyptian league, bring some popular
Right,
players
right,
from there. Take the loss. I mean, it's not going to be a big move worldwide, but locally, it's going to
right,
help
right.
your teams incredibly. Get some Honduran teams, get players. I'm sorry, get some variety. Not
Right. Yeah,
just the
yeah.
mega stars. Just get the community behind your local
I mean,
team.
we've talked about this. Gonna take you guys behind the curtain a little bit on bringing in more local soccer
Yeah.
fans here, and we've been talking about what do we do, how do we unlock
Yes.
the Newburgh population here. I mean, it is a very diverse
Yep.
city.
Yep.
Very proud soccer fans.
Yep.
And it's just been a little bit difficult for us to. We have lost video, so let me see if I can fix this real quick. But yeah, so to unlock that fan base, really takes a lot of effort, and we'll see what we can do, whether it's just in
Yeah.
our little pocket of the world or as MLS to unlock all that. So,
Absolutely. It's a matter of developing. Yeah, like you said, maybe just finding that niche. We have to start trying to find a niche, trying to work on hirings, on new players. Maybe just get like, a popular player from a local league. Let's stop trying to. I mean, Messi and Suarez and all these big names, they do count. I
oh, for
appreciate
sure,
that.
for
They
sure.
do count for the international European people. But let's just get, let's get the best player from Brazil, Let's get the MVP from Brazil, the top scorer.
Yeah.
Bring it over here from whatever team that
Well,
is.
and we've Atlanta did that at times with Miguel Almiron.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, why can't I can't recall the guy's name. He was the player of the South American Player of the Year. The Barco.
Oh yeah,
I
Barco.
think
Barco.
Barco, and so and by the way, we're back on video, so thank you for understanding.
Sorry
our
about that,
technical
my
difficulty.
guys.
Like I said, we're moving some stuff around. No, nothing is without hiccups. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so there has been some pockets of that here and
Yep.
there, but I think that needs to continue to trend upward, and as more teams come into the fold,
Exactly.
and
It's a matter of
more
learning.
salary. That's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
So
And no, like you said, taking people behind the scenes. That's one thing that us as a business here at the brewery, not just the podcast that we talk, but we always try to involve our community
Yeah.
in the situation. Like you said, we've been trying really hard to get that community to start coming and watching soccer over here. So now we also, part of our ideas is starting to take opinions. And if they want to watch the Mexican League, let's
Yeah,
try to
yeah.
find out how to play it. There is games in Honduras. We have a bunch of Central American population here. If we can find an El Salvador game or something, we've been trying to play it.
And we audience, you guys know that, the guys that listen and watch. I don't care, and I don't mean this disparaging on any country. I don't care if it's the 4th division in Latvia.
Yep.
If we can get it on the big screen and people want to come and watch,
We'll play
make
it.
it happen.
And that's kind of like one of the things that it helps us as an entity here. People do know this. We created that type of
Yeah.
brand, and people comes and follow us. Maybe it's not in huge numbers, but when there is a big event here, every event, and please, check all of our events. We're gonna have a big one with Bournemouth coming up. Sorry
Yep.
about the plug, but every time we do those events, we get hundreds of people coming in here. So like the brand is there already. It's just a matter of us putting
Yeah,
constant
and
bigger products.
we will hit on that Bournemouth event at the end of our show.
But yeah, but like that's it. We created that brand. We created the base. Now that's something that can be done at a bigger scale. Maybe if the city just starts focusing
Yeah,
in on
yeah.
what is our demographic, how many people comes here, let's please them for now. Let's get them involved.
Yeah.
Who do you want? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This,
No, I mean, I'm all for these big kind of events. We've done several with Bournemouth already. We
Yeah.
had Clyde Frazier here a couple weeks ago. I've been to some other spots that have done soccer related events with, Tab Ramos, Giuseppe Rossi, and we could certainly.
and that's it. But that's it. Get the community involved.
Yeah.
Get them close to the players. Make them take ownership of this team that you have, and that's the only way to create a loyal fan base. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens, and hopefully we're gonna develop ourselves a lot more. And by next year or right after the World Cup, we're gonna start climbing up as one of the top leagues in the world. That would be sweet.
I think the recipe is there. The ingredients are there. We just have to find the chef to put it all together. So that's going to do it for this segment. We'll be right back. 100 miles to home with U.S. action, Mexico action
Yes, sir.
in the Gold Cup.
Cheers.
All right, welcome back to A Soccer
What's up,
Fan
man?
Walks Into a Bar. I'm Dave, Diego here. As we, in the break, we're talking about how comfortable these new chairs are. They are taking a little bit of breaking in to to find our spots, but
they're good.
and I'm very happy with the acquisition and a late summer transfer window pickup for us.
There you go, my brother. Next up, what do we got?
So we
USA,
have
baby.
Gold Cup action. The U.S. on the heels of a 2-1 victory against Haiti in match day 3 went perfect. Although it, obviously it wasn't without its hiccups along the way, but
things did happen.
Goals from Tillman and Agniang. 2-1 victory over Haiti. They have advanced, as does Mexico. So the bracket will now look like this, starting with a match tomorrow evening in the quarters: Panama and Honduras, as well as Mexico, Saudi Arabia.
Oof.
Saudi Arabia is
They're showing up.
they are a good squad.
Yep.
They famously had that result against Argentina in the World Cup. They are the invited guest to the Gold Cup this time around. It was a close match with the U.S.
Oh, 100%.
So that one will be, not the walkover that a lot of, especially Mexican fans think.
They hope.
Yeah.
They don't even think. They hope. I've talked to a few of them, and they have been watching these matches,
Yeah.
and they have seen Saudi Arabia. And the one thing with Saudi Arabia is that they are not afraid of anybody.
No,
It doesn't matter what
no.
name is in front of them. It's irrelevant to them. They
And
play for
also,
country.
this is a big topic, excuse me, of to talk about for the Club World Cup as well. But the Saudi Arabian teams, whether it's the club teams or the national team, they are well versed and comfortable
Oh, yeah.
competing in this heat.
Yep. They have no problem with that.
So
they're actually as an advantage for them.
Exactly. And they were talking about it with some of these other squads, the Brazilian, and that's one of the reasons why maybe Brazilian clubs are doing so well in this World Cup.
They're comfortable.
They're comfortable in this climate. So again, something to look out for.
Yeah.
Obviously, it gets hot in the U.S. and Mexico as well, but
they're
not
near.
as accustomed to training and playing in this.
And no, you are right though. Like a lot of pundits have been saying that you know what I mean. The teams last 10, 15 minutes and extra time, they just seem gassed.
Yeah.
Most of the teams seem just totally gassed. They spend it all trying to stay competitive throughout the first 80 minutes, and then closing up, they just run out of batteries. And a lot of these teams have taken advantage of that.
No, it's
goals in the last few minutes just because you got energy and the other team doesn't, and that's key, especially in a game like this with soccer. You have to find out some
right. And now that we're in the knockout stages, there's no we have another group stage match still, I'm gonna save some of my energy. This is it. So all right, so after tomorrow's matches, now on Sunday we have Canada, Guatemala, and the big one, at least for us here, US Costa Rica, an NYCFC player on each squad
on each team. It's gonna be an NYCFC duel.
Goalkeeper Matt Fries and striker Alonso Martinez.
Oof, that's a duel.
Yeah,
you gotta be careful with Costa Rica though. They are playing well right now. Costa Rica and Panama. I mean, yes. I mean, obviously they are on the brackets right now, but they are playing extremely, extremely organized soccer. And I want to say it again, that all due respect to all the teams, but they're playing above their level right now.
I mean, they held
way above their level.
Mexico to a scoreless draw.
Yeah.
Mexico statistically, had the run of play. Costa Rica did not register a shot on target. Mexico had 71% possession, and wouldn't you know it, for many accounts, the man of the match. Again, I can't believe he's still playing at such a high level for Costa Rica.
Yeah,
Keylor Navas,
my man, dude. He is the soul of that team.
Yeah,
he is incredible, and he's like Old Man River, though. He never backs down. I love it. And you know what? That is one of the things. Having him for such a long time, I think is what is helping Costa Rica be where they are right now. You know what I mean? Just having that constant leadership, and especially from your goalie, you know what I mean? From your total anchor, he gives them that confidence that they have that, yes, maybe we're not the best team right at this specific matchup, but we can hold on. We can keep them scoreless. We only need one goal. We only need one chance.
Yeah.
We only need one attack, and it's been working out for them.
Or now in the group stage, or now that the group stage is over, we're in the knockout rounds. Go to a shootout.
Yeah, we can go to a shootout. We trust our
honestly of any goalkeeper in CONCACAF in a shootout.
My guy,
and that includes some of the Americans and an NYCFC player who I'm very fond of.
Yeah.
How do you go against
Keylor
Navas?
You can do it, though. You can. I mean, again, like you said, it is the United States, but yeah, Keylor Navas, it's an anchor that has been tried and tested for so many years and so many different stages, big, small, and he always rises up. And again, he holds everybody to that standard.
All right, so here we are. Take a look. We have the full bracket here of the Gold Cup as we're into the knockout stages now. Who do you got?
I got Panama, I got Canada, and I got Saudi Arabia and USA though.
Uh,
I think USA can do it. They
you're
have been playing really, really
you're
well
not gonna
under
make
Pochettino.
our Mexican fan base too happy with that,
I,
but
I will apologize to all my boys tonight and tomorrow, but yeah, no, I don't think so. Mexico is dubious right now.
yeah,
I just can't trust that team, to be honest with you. They have the ball all the time. They control the pace of the game, but they don't score properly. They don't like we were like I was saying about what was the team of the Premier League that couldn't finish up?
oh, Nottingham,
Nottingham.
yeah,
That you are missing. You're failing on that
yeah,
last
yeah,
part of the match. And when it comes to defense, they're just not
yeah.
they're not taking anything serious, man. So Mexico is not giving me any confidence right now to a team that really has gotten results with much bigger and much difficult
Yeah, yeah.
situations. So I believe they got it.
Okay.
I believe Saudi Arabia, and then the other two are just natural though, like
So you have Panama, Saudi Arabia,
yeah,
Canada,
and
USA,
USA, and I think USA just because of is USA.
and so from there, who wins this title
Out of those four,
out of this whole round, out of this whole quarterfinal round, 8 teams left. Who's taking it?
yeah, yeah. I want to say Canada or Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Again, Pochettino just got there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are the true tests. If Pochettino goes all the way through and wins, more power to him. But I think I think Canada is more established right now.
whether that is reflective on this squad and where they should be or not. I think if the U.S. The U.S. is kind of in a must-win for this
Oh yeah,
tournament.
absolutely.
Whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent. Missing several big players. Christian Pulisic, McKinney, and Weah are with
And that's kind of my
Juve
point on
at
that.
the
Yeah.
Club World Cup. You have Gio Reyna, who, despite not playing at all, is with Dortmund in the Club World Cup. You have a couple other injuries. Why can't I say? Anthony Robinson got had a knee surgery done. So you have missing a big chunk of key players here. But the American general fan base doesn't care. And,
No, they demand the result.
You're hosting a Gold Cup, you win that.
You gotta win what you host. Yeah, no, understood. But again, like you said, the key point is that being realistic and objective, and us being us, we have to try to, be as level headed as we can. They're missing too many players, and that's kind of like what the thing is. So, are they gonna get to the finals? I think so. I think so. What other team is gonna play them? I think that's the one that's gonna win it if they, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
happen. So, like I said Canada or Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia just because I want to be a contrarian, I guess. But I know Canada. Canada's got the potential to make it, and they're gonna play the US either or. US is gonna win their matches, but yeah, I just don't know if they got the whole push through the finals thing. You
Fair
know
enough.
what I mean?
Fair enough. All right, so that'll do it for 100 miles to home. We pretty much already covered our what's on tap section with those
with the
Gold Cup
games coming up.
matches. So let's hop right into one for the road. I actually have two for the road here.
Let's go.
So Milos Kerkez, left back for Bournemouth, after months and months of speculation, has finally signed a deal to head over to Liverpool in a £40 million move. He played incredibly well for Bournemouth this year.
He was an anchor, man.
For me, he's just one of those guys that I acknowledge the talent level, but I honestly don't feel like we're losing as much as everyone else is making it out to be.
Are you losing an asset? Yes.
Yes.
But the money that asset is bringing you is going to allow you to like shop around for something equal or maybe better, maybe a younger guy. And plus they have other people too that they're kind of like doing their thing.
Well, and so on the I'm saying on the heels, but they've already signed and brought in this player, Adrien Truffert.
Oh yeah,
from Stade de Rennes. He is a 23-year-old left back. Started, and I believe he was the team captain. He has been capped with the French national team. He's won, the French U19 and U21 Euros, I believe, with France and their youth teams. He's got at 23. He's already got 150 appearances
So he's got
for the Rennes
experienced guy.
senior squad. And yeah, so in 2022 he received a call up into the senior national team, so he's got that in his bag.
Yeah.
Obviously losing Kirkez, losing Dean Howson, losing Kepa, the goalkeeper, potentially still losing Zabarny to PSG. Those rumors are still out there. You're gonna have your setbacks,
Yeah.
but so far in the Bill Foley, Andoni Iraola era, they've
been
done
working
nothing
through it,
but
yeah.
hit gems.
Yes.
With their transfer policies, and that includes guys like Kirkez and Howson.
Yeah.
So, until I'm proven wrong with that, I am just going to
Trusting.
kind of blindly trust what
Yep.
they're doing, and they
Agreed.
have that secret sauce. They have something going,
Yep.
and you got to stick with it.
Exactly. And they keep increasing. They keep improving every year. We're not expecting a championship team next year or within the next couple. But let's say 5 years down
Yeah.
the road, if they keep going
Get
what they're
into
doing.
Europe and just keep that momentum going. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what it is.
All right. So, and speaking of keeping that momentum going, our second for the road, also a Bournemouth thing, as we alluded to earlier.
Yes, sir.
Thursday, July 24th, we will have a kickoff of the Summer Series event right here in Newburgh Brewing. We have plans for 6 p.m. Bino free play, 7 p.m. Bournemouth-themed trivia with plenty of prizes, 8 p.m. DJ Diego here will take things
Just
over
some
with
karaoke.
And it will be, obviously you can pick whatever songs you want, but a sports anthem themed karaoke. So bring out the Queen, bring out the We Will Rock You, bring out the Jock Jams,
Bring them all out, baby. We'll sing them all together here.
So that'll be a great time. We're working on maybe a Bournemouth appearance. We're working on maybe obviously prizes and giveaways. Maybe some Bournemouth themed temporary and permanent tattoos.
Yeah, let's go.
We
got a couple of people that will come and get them.
You know what? Why not? We got some room here. Let's see what we can get some cherries on. But yeah, no, it should be a great time.
Don't miss out.
We are hoping also, we don't know if the jersey will be released yet, but we're hoping to be able to feature at least some artwork on the new home kit that Bournemouth will be dropping for next year. So yeah, it'll be a great time all around.
Absolutely, guys.
And then looking forward to physically going to the game on Saturday the 26th against Everton, with that doubleheader with Man United and West Ham United to follow. So we'll be down there at MetLife Stadium.
Cheering our butts off, and you guys should be too.
Cheering our butts off, sweating our butts off. But if you're down in the stadium and you see us, around,
reach out, let us know.
We'll take some pictures.
Yeah, baby.
I'll never forget. I was at Red Bull Arena, last summer, and a couple of our regulars
showed up. Hey.
Angel was up there, and they all came up there like, oh, Dave, and I'm like, is this what being a celebrity feels like?
Yo,
it was great. So I mean, they didn't buy me any beers or anything, but
it goes down the road. Recognition first, free product later.
So that's gonna do it for our show this week. Like we said, a brief one. We've got not a ton of obviously league play, just Club World Cup and the Gold Cup right now. But throw us a follow: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky. Jump into the Discord, send us an email. Please share, follow, and like on all those social media platforms.
Absolutely, my guys.
You help us, grow and continue doing what. I mean, I can't believe we get to do this.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun, dude. For nothing, for fun. I love it. But be well, guys.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Cheers.
God bless you,
We'll
my
see you
guys.
again soon.